Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. All the Roces in the building as well. And we got some special guests in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We got some family. We got Rocsi Diaz.
This is people's childhood in here.
We got Terrence J.
Yes, I'm so excited. Oh
we
my
got the
God.
other guy, AJ. You know AJ.
Word.
Hampton hate. Shout out to Hampton Institute.
Oh, man.
Damn.
I forgot Howard.
This is all my family. I'm just joking. This is all my family. We got AJ, Roxy, and Terrence. Welcome, guys.
What up?
How y'all feeling?
Good.
Good.
Amazing.
106 in
Amazing.
Park.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlamagne said, you
years.
guys were our childhood,
Absolutely.
our adult life growing up.
Definitely mine. I'm so excited, happy. Does it feel like it's been that long?
Envy's older than
I
us.
know, that's
so
I'm
I don't know what he's talking about our childhood.
Our
Envy's
childhood.
was grown
People's
with
childhood.
grandchildren.
That was our childhood.
People do that all the time,
Free and
though.
AJ.
Bro,
That
we
was our
grown
childhood.
as hell
Okay.
when Free and
You were
AJ was
grown,
on
Envy.
TV. What are you
So
talking
what
about?
year was that?
2000.
Okay, well, I was grown.
No, but that happens all the time.
You
I'm
were-
in the store and people got walkers and they're like, yo, I grew up watching you. I was like, you were grown.
Felt like, I guess.
Yeah.
It felt like that, though.
Especially because y'all were connected to some of our favorite artists, and a lot of people saw them in different ways for the first time with you guys. I skipped school to come. Remember, y'all used to have the line where you would line up to get in?
Yep.
It was like first come, first
The
serve.
livest audience
I
line,
skipped
yep.
school in Delaware, got on the bus to New York to come and watch 106 in the Park. You know, I got there and y'all wasn't even filming that day.
Crazy.
And I got home and got my behind.
That's what your
whooped.
ass get.
Oh, no.
That's right.
It was
So breaking
bad.
news, we weren't live every day.
I didn't know that. As a
Fridays.
kid, I didn't know that. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to 106 in Park.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
But y'all are celebrating 25 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
With a reunion at the BET Awards.
Yes. yes.
What's that going to look like?
It's going to be special. It's going to be beautiful. I don't think all four of us have been in the same room maybe
time.
in a
It ain't
decade.
for y'all.
Free couldn't make it. She really wanted to be here, but she couldn't make it. I talked to her and she sends her love to everybody, and she cannot wait to see everybody for the BET Awards. So
I talked to her this
Yeah,
morning.
I talked
She
to her
can't
this
wait.
morning, yeah.
So it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. We
People
can't
always
wait to
say,
go back.
what era was better? The Free and AJ era or the Roxy and Terrence J era? I'm just curious.
What are you talking about?
Free and
thought you would start
AJ, their era was iconic. You
They were
gotta-
on longer than us.
No, listen, you got to
And they
understand.
held it
Yeah.
down.
So in order to understand 106, you got to understand technology and communication, right? The world was changing from 2000 to 2014. All this new technology, you know, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
Twitter.
and all
MySpace.
of these things, were coming on the scene. And so 106 in Park was the global hub for all of this,
Yeah.
right? When they
yeah.
started, if you needed to see the #1 video in the world, you had to go to BET's 106 in Park. The new artists, 106 in Park. The breaking stories, 106 in Park. Sports, fashion, technology, everything. 106 in Park was the hub for it.
Yeah. And so we wouldn't be, there wouldn't be what we were without Free and AJ at the end of the day. So, you know, we always tell them like they're the originals, they're the OGs. I think different generations grew up with different hosts. And so everybody likes to pick favorites. But when it comes to all of the hosts together, we just know that we're part of this amazing family that, you know, was able to be such an influence on the culture that, you know, to this day, to be honest with you, to this day, I still get more people that like are from the 106 and Park family that are now our A-list celebrities and stars that come up here,
Right.
you know, because of those connections from then that, you know, they stick with you for so long. So we're just so appreciative of the foundation that we were able to come from and build. with
And there was no
106.
platform for black and brown people.
No.
There was not, especially not a prime time when that was getting numbers.
Not at all.
No,
Yeah.
not
So-
at all. Back then, and it was crazy, because we honestly didn't know what we were creating. You know, I was a club promoter. I was throwing parties. and
Where at?
literally- Everyone, come on.
You've been
No,
in
I
the
know,
parties
but I
before.
don't
Why you acting like where I
He wasn't outside. All he
saying
do is
people
sit up
who
here and
don't
criticize
know.
us.
Yes.
All he do is sit up here and criticize, well, really me,
All over
about
New York.
being out, and he loves to act like he's
Oh, he
never
was
been
outside.
out. Please
I
tell
remember.
us.
He was outside.
Life.
He
Please
was
describe.
time.
You know what I mean?
He was outside. I used to have Wendy host. Oh my God, what is my Wednesday night at Cheetah? When Kevin used to come.
Cheetah
When,
in
you don't even
Atlanta?
remember
That
that.
was, that was before my time.
Yeah, you know that infamous
I got that
picture was
06.
actually taken at one of your clubs.
That
where-
was not. I was at the radio
That's
station.
when
in the
Charlamagne
studio.
was sitting on Wendy's lap. Was
This
at
is
one
about
of
the
your clubs?
106 Park host this
damn.
morning.
This was a
Okay,
party? This was a
all right.
club?
You were sitting on Clue Lap in the
Stop.
DJ booth.
You better stop.
Nobody
Wow.
ever
You better stop.
Wow. AJ,
Better
you
stop
saw
it.
that before, right?
You know, nobody ever seen none of that. Better stop it.
So the BET Awards.
No, wait, I didn't know you were a promoter. So you were
Exactly.
a promoter.
See,
and
that's why I
I
said
had
that.
no idea.
Yeah.
And
Nah,
then-
New
so
York
how
was
did that-
mine for a long time.
And then, okay, so from promoter here in New York to
And
106
DC.
in Park, DC,
Yeah.
because of
So,
Howard.
so what happened was BET was looking for a host at that time. They already knew Free. Well, Free was already picked. And actually, shout out to George Daniels, George's Music Room. He introduced me to BET executives, and I took them around, and that's how it all happened. Took them to a couple of the parties, and then they had me audition, and literally like 3 weeks later, I was on live television, Green. Crazy.
How difficult was it for you? Because you didn't have any history in that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I was getting a lot of hate. You had I can't even remember their names. The morning shows were coming after me.
I remember.
It was
Oh,
nuts.
they used to
But honestly,
What
which
was
one
it?
BT
Yeah,
had?
they used to call you the
I can't-
Predator.
The Predator.
Yeah.
Long hair, like they killed me.
They killed you. I
Well,
remember.
great. No, but honestly,
Charlamagne.
I gotta give it up for Stephen Hill because he had my back. And then, long story short, the same dude that was talking all that mess, I ended up running into him at the Garden, and he's like, you know, it's all fun and games. Will you manage me?"
Wow.
And I was like, "Aren't you the same?" And what happened was BET had just put a big spend with them, but they were like, they had a commercial to get me fired off the show.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't
On
know
the
what that
radio
did.
Oh, I remember that.
Wow.
Oh no, it was crazy. It was, but anyway.
I took
Why?
care of that for you, light work. We'll
Thank
talk about that later.
you, DJ Envy.
Took care of that
I
for you.
Googled. I
No, but to answer the question, to go back to this question, there's no competition. I mean, honestly, these two people right here held it down for a longer time and with a lot of pressure on them. So to be able to do that and to hold it down with style and grace, gotta like take my hat off to them.
Yeah. You
How
know.
seamless did Free and AJ make the transition process?
We were gone.
So yeah, there was a period. They were already gone.
gone.
Tigger and
Super gone.
Jalisa were super gracious, and Mad Links and everybody that was around at that time were gracious. But it was challenging. You know, we stepped into these iconic shoes with people that we grew up watching. So there was a lot of initial hate, and
we
you know,
came from nowhere because we were
Came from
part of
nowhere.
a new face search, a competition, a challenge. So it was like Terrence and I really leaned on each other because we both knew that nobody understood what we were going through more than each other because we never had done television before. I came from a radio background and he did radio as well. But, we won a contest to host the biggest show on a network. And it's
that was a big deal.
big deal.
Everybody and their mama wanted to
I
audition
had
for that.
thousands of dollars of student debt to pay back from,
Right.
from North Carolina A&T and was sleeping on Fred's couch at the time down in his basement. And so we were sleeping in the car. We were just trying to hustle to make it. And we just had this dream and ambition. And so to see the show go to where it went and to be a part, we were a part of all these iconic moments, all of us, right?
All of us.
From when Michael Jackson passed to when Barack was a senator, when Obama was a senator, all of these landmark
putting
things.
his crotch in
Trayvon
Janet Jackson's
Martin.
face.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Look at they just shot.
Madonna tried to make out with you. Madonna tried to
They
make
thought
out
it was
with
gonna be me.
Yeah, Madonna tried to make out with Terrence.
And it became
Bow Wow
global.
kissed-
So anywhere we went,
Bow Wow
Tyra-
kissed Tyra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyra, yeah.
Halle Berry
Tom
and,
Cruise
and,
jumped
and
on the
Free
couch.
with the
Yeah.
catwalk.
Oh, Aaliyah,
Yeah. We've
Kobe
had-
Bryant, like all these
We've had moments.
Shells
iconic
tumble.
moments. Yeah.
Damn.
We weren't
Listen,
there. That was
all
that
of the
was
Blind Fury moments. I don't care.
Oh,
That was later.
Blind Fury
was so
All of the
great.
Blind
Fire.
Fury
Yeah.
moments.
The Blind
Like,
Fury.
oh my
And
God.
Yeah.
Jen.
Great.
Jen.
Yeah.
Jen
Can't
is
forget
huge
Jen.
in China too.
I was about to say, what happened to are y'all still watching those people who used to come through the Freestyle Friday movement and like what where are they at now?
Well,
like, what
Jen,
happens?
Jen, I've contacted him on social media and stuff, and he's big in China.
He hit us recently. Jen hit us recently.
Yeah, I thought-
Yeah, you know, a lot of these artists are still doing it, and then a lot of these, you know, people that will come on the show turns into DJ Khaled. You know, like it became a hub where different DJs, different music personalities, dance competitions, like everybody would just come to 106.
Yeah.
When y'all left the show, AJ, did BET even tell y'all? Did y'all find out on MySpace, like, or in the blog?
Everybody wants to know about
tabloids
that.
like we did? Like,
She said, yeah.
Because from what I read, leaving the show was there was behind the scenes, like you felt like creatively things weren't right.
I'm turning around at BT
But
like
no,
that.
it was
Online, it was
was
like
our
contract
decision.
stuff. It was creatively.
It was our decision.
But why?
yeah, why?
It was time. I mean,
No,
back
was
then,
it?
it was time. I'll just say that. Or can I say, wait, maybe there's a book coming out. I don't know. Possibly.
So we'll finally get the answer.
Maybe. I mean, the answer was it was time. For me personally, it was time. I made the decision, honestly, that evening. It was my last contractual day. And, yeah, I walked in you know how they do the prep office? I walked in the office, all the producers were there. I was like, this is my last day. Whatever we're prepping, it ain't going to work. And they thought I was playing because I played all the time. And that was actually my last day. And it was crazy because I still remember it was Mariah Carey's Shake It Off. It was like the new joint of the day.
That's crazy.
And that's when I was like, I'm making the right decision.
Did you and Free plan that
I don't
together?
know.
Or, okay.
That means no.
Got you.
Can I say something real quick about Free though? Because you guys asked the question about the transition. Free has always been a girl's girl, and she reached out to me because she knew. She was like, "Okay, girl, there's the curse of the couch,
Amazing.
and this is what's gonna happen, and this is what you're gonna go through." And Free held she held my hand through a lot of stuff that went there. So nobody get and all of the girls, we're all close, but like the women of 106 in Park have always kept in touch, and like to this day, I mean, Julissa and I just went on vacation. Keisha Shantae and I go to the same nail salon and you know, see each other. And me and Free talk all the time. So
I love Free.
Just for reference on that, like kudos to Free because she really, really, really looked out for all the girls. And for us, she always calls us Free Angels. She's like, y'all are my girls. I'm like, all right, Free, but you know, she really is a girl's girl and really, really, really looked out. I mean, even to like who the best hair and makeup person was at one, like those things that you don't know, you know, especially when you're not on TV, you don't know these things. So shout out to Free.
How long did it take y'all to get chemistry, like between you and Free AJ, and also between you and Terrence Rocsi?
Ours was kind of instant.
Yeah.
Again, we came in through new faces, so we came in through a whole different.
Roxi's
we had no
really
choice.
easy to work with in that way, though. You know, it was seamless. So, and again, it was that the world was just different, and we were so hungry to just be able to pay our rents on time and just be able to, you know, do these interviews and
We were having fun.
Yeah, we were having fun. Our life was changing. We were in our 20s. It was great. It was a great time when I look back at it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, right.
No, like it was again like Terrence and I were a different situation because there really didn't have to be a chemistry test. We were so happy to get the show. And like I remember when we had the phone call with Steven and he was like, "So y'all are the host," and we're like, "Wait, what?" And I had the worst audition process that whole week. Like it was terrible. So the fact that he even got to where it was, but
So you didn't even know you didn't even think that you had it after auditioning.
not at all. Well, because it was like 10 of us that did New Faces, and then they picked 5 to stay on the network. So even to have made it to the 5, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is crazy.
It's always been a blessing.
Yeah,
You know? I
and
mean,
then-
we grew up watching, you know.
Yeah, you never
these-
thought.
you
We
know,
didn't even know that was up for grabs. We didn't know that they were looking for the new host of 106. We had no idea. Tigger and Julissa were doing the thing. You know?
Oh, so when it was you, Terrence, Alicia Renee, Lamorne, and Julissa, they just said
No, Julissa wasn't part of New Faces.
wasn't?
It was,
She was already on.
She was already on.
Oh, okay.
Because it was
Julissa
Julissa
was already on the
and
network.
Big Tigger right after us.
Yeah.
So who was the fifth
Because
one?
they had to, like, literally that next day, they had to figure it out because I was not supposed to leave when I left.
Shaming. Shout out to
Shaming.
Yeah.
I don't remember Shay Ming. God bless. I don't remember.
One thing I got to say about
But,
both of them.
but you and Free's chemistry, how did y'all develop it?
It just, I mean, it happened from the first time we did like a test interview till the first time we were on show. I mean, honestly. And then the first guest, Busta Rhymes, was
Oh, that's awesome.
it was it was a lot of fun. When it really clicked, I think honestly was they surprised us with Whitney and Bobby. Like we were doing a read, and they had Whitney and Bobby walk out behind us without telling us.
Wow.
And it was crazy because Bobby's from Boston and Whitney's from Jersey, so it was just like a crazy, amazing moment, and it was just like, okay, we're doing something because we didn't like it was crazy. We were up on 106 Park, and you know, if you've ever been to Metropolis Studios, it's just it was different.
Damn.
I never felt like y'all was hosting a show, which was a
Right.
good thing.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
to me, I felt like I was hosting a party. I
Yeah.
hosted a party every day for people at home.
I went back. I watched your first break on air, and it was good from the beginning. Like from the
We were
initial,
horrible at the
No. The initial break.
At least I was.
It's
I was
on
horrible.
Free's IG page. It was like the show just had a thing about it, and like I said earlier, there was just a global connection that was happening at this time, right? You got kids from Japan, you got kids from London
That.
coming to Harlem, coming to 57th and 10th. To see this show and, you know, these stories from Delaware driving down, it was just all connecting. And then it birthed so many different things. So now when I meet, you know, Speedy Mormon or I'm sitting down with Pretty V and they're telling me, hey, we were watching you and Rocsi growing up, or we were watching AJ and Free. It's like, it's so amazing that it's just transcended time. And so many people have been able to, you know, build careers and do creative things and make money and feed their families, you know, off of this show. We had amazing producers, amazing people, you know, behind the scenes working hard every day to make it happen. And we had the best fans in the world. And that was the best part.
Really?
Was
Y'all remember your first
every
guest?
day-
Because he said Busta Rhymes was his. Do y'all remember your first guest?
I feel like it was Busta Rhymes too. He was early.
It was-
Jamie Foxx, Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Jesus.
Janet,
No, they came
Yeah,
in.
they
came
came
in.
in. Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
heat.
I
Came
was
in hot.
I was
Yes.
sleeping on the couch. I didn't have an apartment in New York yet, so I was still damn near homeless when I interviewed Janet Jackson that day. And I remember, like, me and Rocsi, our dressing rooms were right there. We were just so nervous, and it just, you know, we still can't believe that we're
That
part
was
of this.
happening.
Yeah.
Everything
this
happened
legacy.
so fast. We literally got the call, and then it was like, you guys have to be in New York in like not even like 2 weeks. Move. And I'm on the radio in Chicago at the time, and I'm like, I got to move my whole entire life. Like this is happening, and this is happening fast.
Did
So
they let you quit Chicago Radio?
no, I started doing. I was doing my radio show from a studio at the 57th and 11th studios. So they gave me a radio room, and so I was broadcasting. I would do hair, makeup, go down, tape my midday show for Chicago, go back up, do 106 in Park, go back down, tape more shows. Like I was pre-taping a lot of shows, and then we would do, and then so many things started happening in between 106 in Park. Then we had 106 in Park Radio, so we would tape that in between 106 tapings and stuff like that. So yeah,
And
we
this
stayed
was
on-
when
They worked, y'all.
Yeah, well,
crazy.
They did.
multi-hyphenates didn't exist.
Yeah,
back then,
yeah, it
you
wasn't.
know? So when we look at all four of you are doing such amazing things, and the diversification of your brands is phenomenal. At that stage, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like
you
that.
know, it was.
Do you remember the conversation I had with you when you started? And I
one?
told you to diversify, do all the stuff.
Yes, you
and
did. Yes, you
I-
did.
I-
You were always very, you know, gracious and very, you know, the way you passed the torch. You Tig, like it was a lot of.
Well, he took it to another level.
TJ? Absolutely. You know, he hustles. TJ
I'm-
hustles.
Like, honestly, because I remember the conversation. Privately, I've said this to you, and I'm saying it publicly. Like, you literally took it to another level, and that is a beautiful thing because it opens up for so many people. And I know you know, you walk the street and people are like, I'm in news because of you. I'm in entertainment because of you. You know, what that show did. Probably the craziest thing, and it's actually happened more than once. I had a guy come up to me and literally almost break down in tears and say, he's alive because of 106.
Damn, what episode was that?
He said, no.
genuine
honestly,
No,
no.
get back. There were,
He was
there
like,
were some
he
heavy
wanted to be
episodes.
inside to watch 106, and all of his friends were on the corner, and they shot up the corner and killed all of his friends. So literally every one of his friends died.
That's crazy.
He was like, I'm the only one alive.
Wow.
So just the impact of bringing kids inside.
That's true. Yeah.
From the because the streets are crazy at times.
Because people had to sit down and watch it. I looked up a fact.
Appointment television. That's funny to think about.
600,000 views per episode on minimum you guys were having during AJ and Free on 106 and Park, according to Google. That's a lot of people sitting at one time.
And you had to watch it because there wasn't no internet. So you
there was no social media. There was no internet. There wasn't like TiVo and all that stuff. Really was crazy. The commercial, I forget who made the commercial. I love to remember his name because the kids were dropping the bikes. Like 106 and Park is on.
Yeah. So when I was in elementary school, we used to play. They used to play it for us in the cafeteria on a projector. Like you hear like gym would be everybody's favorite. Nah, lunch was everybody's favorite. Period. Because we used to watch 106 and Park and eat our food. Well, I never ate the food; it was trash. But 106 and Park was cafeteria time, lunchtime every day.
That explains so much about Baltimore. That's what they were teaching y'all in school.
Here we go.
Listen, school and in prisons.
Oh my God, the jail
prisons,
mail.
You can't. There was
so much
crazy
jail mail.
mail.
So much jail mail.
You couldn't
Shout out
change
to
off
everybody
of
who wrote to
BET.
me when they was locked up.
Jail mail changed. Jail mail changed. We don't get jail mail anymore. We used to get crazy jail mail. We still do. Like that?
Funniest story ever, honestly.
Oh, you don't get no more jail? Oh, you jealous? You don't get no more jail mail?
You don't get jail mail?
A guy drew Envy naked one time.
I was doing that.
A guy drew a picture of Envy naked in mail.
Wait, I got questions.
I don't know. I hope he's still locked up because if not, I'm know he's probably coming to see me.
I'm going to give y'all a crazy, honest story. Deborah Lee, I was at an event. Deborah Lee was there. Martha Stewart was there. I shouldn't be telling this story. And Deborah wanted to meet Martha. Deborah wanted to meet Martha. And I had, interviewed Martha on Extra a couple times. And I was like, I know Martha. She's super cool. So I brought her over. And I was like, Deborah Lee, this is Martha Stewart. And Martha was like, oh my God, I love BET. When I was locked up, that's all I could watch. And she ran down. She was like, Rap City, 106 and Park, like Comic View. She ran like,
so funny.
Deborah almost fell. It was a hilarious moment. It was a hilarious.
How did y'all deal with? Because I was just saying before y'all came in, but after 106 and Park, the only other place I can think of that has those cultural moments that people remember, good or bad, is Breakfast Club.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But now,
That's why you got the job. Thank you.
That's why you got the job.
That's why you got a job. Thank you.
But now,
you guys really are. Like, everybody's always like 106. It's like the Breakfast Club is what,
That's what y'all
was
are right
missing.
now.
It was you guys.
Culture.
So just FYI.
Culture.
Yes,
Highlighting
culturally,
us.
Definitely.
Highlighting us
Definitely.
unfilteredly is something that I don't think America has a lot of right now, and you all do it in a great way.
Thank you.
With good
I'm
chemistry.
sorry.
no, I brought that up because I was saying we got the internet, so it's like when moments happen here, it's super huge. With y'all, it was happening on TV, but then like turn your TV off, you go home, or did you what or not, right? How did y'all handle those moments? Like I know. There was like the Webbie thing that happened. Rocsi, Terrence, y'all, you walking off stage, Rocsi, y'all here together now. We would love to hear about that as well. But
Terrence
handling those
protects me at all costs, and that's what I'm gonna say. And I'll protect him at all costs. And I don't like bringing up anything that was like that's not what I want to remember from the show because that's not even worth our time right now. The show was more about celebration than it was about drama. So those 360 days or whatever, because we were a 365 show. It was always there's always things that would happen. But if there's one thing that I could say about this man right here is that he protected me, at all costs.
Listen, we're it's such a celebration now, right? And when you bring up any of those things, it's all love. It's all love.
And there's no hate, and there's no beef now. Like there never was back then either.
Yeah, there was no beef.
When I saw the report, in looking at it now as a person that's doing this, and I saw the Webbie thing, my first thought was whatever happened, it had to be a protection thing on whatever part. And the reason why I brought it up is because I think people don't understand, like you said, you were sleeping on the couch and you got the job. You were working in radio and then boom, everything happened. Yeah. In real time, you just have to adjust to being in front of everybody and figuring that out. It had to be tough.
In front of a live audience.
In front of a live audience, right? That had to be tough. So when I'm seeing, what I perceived as a protection thing, and you kind of just said that, in front of the world, I don't know, how did you guys mentally, how are you dealing with that at the time? Because y'all are kids too.
Yeah, look, we'll pivot out, but listen, for me, Roxy, like it was, anything that had to do with Roxy was always protection thing. But shout outs to Webbie. It's love, man. This has been, decades. We're adults. We were growing up live on television daily.
Yeah.
Our level of emotional intelligence, our growth as human beings, what we were dealing with, we were literally growing up in front of everybody's eyes. So obviously we made mistakes. Obviously there's growing pains. There's things that we learned. But when we look back, it was this beautiful journey in time, this beautiful thing that we got to celebrate together. And when Scott Mills and the team said, hey, we want to celebrate 25 years of 106 and Park this year at the BET Awards.
Don't play with that. He gave us the appetizer. We say, and we're going to pivot.
Yeah, so we're going to pivot.
I heard you, Terrence. Jay.
For a long time.
What else you working on, Terrence?
Listen, man, money talks, man.
What else you working on, sir?
But I do remember when you walked off the set, you said it was a publicity stunt.
Charlamagne brought it back.
Yeah, that was.
Brought it back.
Yeah,
There you go.
only because I don't want people to think that was a real thing.
About me and him?
Yeah.
Oh,
We were blurring the lines of reality. This was early reality TV, right? We were blurring the lines. Me and Rocsi were sitting in Steven's office and was like, why don't we, try this as a scripted thing?
Right.
We were coming up with creative. People were talking about it like it was,
real.
Popping popcorn, right?
Yeah.
So it was, me and her have always been right here.
Yeah.
There was never.
ever, ever between me and him. And even to this day, like, protect him at all costs, at the end of the day.
And we never hooked up. And the only reason why I bring that up is because Rocsi is such a professional that
You're such a professional.
I appreciate
let me say this before y'all ask me, okay?
I think he's getting somewhere.
He said, "Let me say this before y'all ask me."
Yeah, well, with women and sometimes you try to.
Yes.
That's not
I'm talking about the way he's handling the interview right now. And
No.
Yeah, she's a real, like she.
Calm
is
down, Spicy. Calm down, Spicy.
No, because as a woman, she wants to understand why you took it away from her real quick. He threw it to her and then you took it away.
No, go ahead and finish, Terrence. I know what you're saying. And I know both y'all are professionals.
I think I
Charlotte's
said
giving
what
flowers
needed
out.
to be said. Is the show was special and we're just so happy that we get to celebrate it.
25 years.
25.
BET Awards.
25 years and people still want it to come
People
back.
still talk about it.
But that's the thing. Do
Like
y'all
every
feel,
day.
Right. I'm one of them who wanted it back, but do y'all feel like, honestly, it would be a success in today's digital? Like,
I do,
106 and Park,
and I
could it
bump
exist?
back against, and it's crazy because the TV execs have arguments about it all the time. If a video show would still do well
I think so.
in a world where there's YouTube, and I honestly believe that it would.
It's
But that's
so
just my
expensive.
opinion.
I don't think so.
It's just
It is.
so
I don't think the video
expensive.
A lot of
way
people
we're
say,
doing it.
like, people
But
argue
the
because you can get
conversation,
videos
yes.
free, but the conversations, and you got to
Because
think
remember
about
before you only
honestly,
could get videos there.
No. But listen, you got
Now I ain't gotta wait for y'all. I just
It's
ping.
above that because
Right.
back then artists had to come and talk about their video. They had to come and talk about their music, and it was like
right.
segments to that. And I think that honestly improved the music.
Yeah.
Like labels were like, we can't put this out because they're gonna end up on the couch talking about this.
Yeah.
If you think about some of the stuff that's out now, could I have 3 segments with an artist talking about what they're saying on that record? I think it improved music, but I think that's necessary and needed. I don't know if it's a 106 in Park, but it's a show that's needed.
And then also on 106 in Park, what people wasn't even really realizing, we were so excited about it, and I still would be, but they didn't even play the whole music video.
No, they
anyway.
cut it off.
It was
30 seconds. They got to a
it
point
was
with like
about-
20 seconds.
Right.
All right, that was
Right.
so
To argue about that.
It was
We used to
about
hate
the
that.
host. It was about the segments that y'all had, the people y'all had, the energy between y'all, like how y'all just made it. Even like how y'all would show y'all audience sometimes, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I was cracking on people a long time ago. So I used to
when I
roast
said
y'all
the
audience.
stories
Like
are
it was
crazy.
so many things
The
about
stories
106 in
like
Park.
we had some time when there was no audience members. Like we had some times when we had a school upstairs at Metropolis. We would literally pull students down sometimes because we didn't have any audience. Like this is at the beginning. Like we would do a show and there'd be nobody in the audience, and they would do canned tape of an audience before, and we would have to have all the energy, and we're talking to nobody.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things that you
You
know.
don't even know.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the stories are crazy.
How did it feel having, at least for Terrence and Rocsi, how did it feel having more fame than probably money? Because I'm sure the fame shot off faster than having actual bread in your pocket.
Yeah, their financial literacy wasn't a conversation of discussion. I didn't have a bunch of financial mentors at that stage of my life. So when you're famous, right, or people recognize you for what you're doing, because famous is a word I don't love to use, but you don't have the funds. Now you have imposter syndrome, right? Now you're trying to keep up. This is when the birth of bottle service in the nightclubs popped off. So you're trying to wear things, you're trying to buy jewelry, you're trying to do these things, but you don't have the means to do it.
TJ was outside back then.
Yeah, we. So there was a lot.
Y'all was outside.
There was
you
a
was
lot
outside.
of.
We was going to your clubs.
I know. That's
Emmy was outside.
We was going to your spots.
I know.
Greenhouse. Shout out to Greenhouse.
But the money
wow.
came. I mean, it was a cultural revolution. So it all came really, fast.
The dope thing about I would say is not your era, but we were all coming up. I feel like New York in the 2000, 2005, 2010 was a bunch of people coming up at the same time. So we all ran with each other.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was dope. We all looked out for each other. We all cared about each other. We all moved in the same circle. So it's like watching y'all now, it's like y'all brothers and sisters to me because we were all there. We were in fights. We were doing this. Like, we did it all together. And thank God there was no cameras back then to tape.
Thank
up.
God.
My
Who y'all was
Lord.
fighting?
Thank God.
Everybody.
Charlamagne tried to fight me.
Charlamagne tried to fight you?
Right.
Charlamagne tried to fight you?
No.
Charlamagne tried to fight
Terrence
you?
won.
Whoa.
These two used to
Let
not
me
go.
whoa.
No, I love Charlamagne.
That's
Now,
my guy.
I don't even remember what happened.
Where did this happen?
It ended
No,
with a
I
hug.
can tell you-
It ended with a hug.
Yes, I used to be on Wendy's show, and I used to be gunning Terrence and Rocsi, right?
Yep.
And so I was up there with Wendy.
Being
And-
messy, just like your godfather.
Shut up. And so
like that.
Terrence came up to me and tried to
Godmother.
shake my hand.
My bad.
And I said, I can't shake your hand because I know I'll be talking about you. And that would be fake of me. So Terrence sat down. He put his hat on backwards. He said, you know what? Yeah, I respect that. But it ain't me. So I really be wanting to punch you in the face for what you be saying about my co-host. And I was like, bro, I'll fuck you up in here. And then everybody was like, y'all go in the bathroom and talk. And that's what we did. You went in the bathroom and talked. But he was protecting Rocsi. He didn't even care about what I was saying about him. He was protecting Rocsi.
But who won the
And
fight?
TJ
We
would
didn't
always take
fight.
his shirt off.
Oh,
TJ's shirt would always be off, right before he about to fight. TJ and Fred would not have his shirt off. And that's how you know they were about to fight.
He's
I
a
swear.
different guy now.
I'm with DJ, and I see no shirt on TJ. Yo, go help TJ. Go help TJ.
Me and Terrence never fought. And if I saw Terrence in a fight now, I would help Terrence.
Lord, when we
100%.
left the room, it ended with a hug. I have so much respect for Charlamagne then and now.
That's my guy.
That's
What
true.
Charlamagne has done is incredible. And it was respect. And I think that started our friendship. It was like we had that moment and then we dapped it up and it was so much respect after that. And
Y'all
it's-
almost did a show together, right? Weren't you producing
Terrence
the show?
was EP in it.
Yeah.
It was me, Duval, and Angelina.
Yeah.
We
State
actually
of-
shot
State
the
of the
pilot for
Union.
BT.
Yep, State of the Union.
I remember that.
A lot of it was jealousy, though. I'll be honest. Like I remember walking up to Terrence one time at this is when y'all was in Harlem at Mission Impossible, and I had just got with Wendy, and I don't know why I wasn't appreciating my blessing at that time because I'm with Wendy, and I'm like, yo, one day I'm gonna take your job for no reason.
You walked up and said,
Yeah.
You look like
No, but honestly, that speaks
He
to
needed your ass
like
whooped.
no.
But
That
no
speaks to
reason.
that speaks to what I was going through back then. But I never just like you didn't know. I didn't know. I wasn't in the industry. There were a lot of people that wanted that television
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
we got it, when I said there was a lot of pressure on anyone who's in those shoes, there were a lot of people that wanted to be on television that feel like I did the work.
I
should
deserve to be there. Yeah.
You know what
But
I
I
mean?
hadn't done the work. I was just hating.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. But I didn't take it like that, man. When I saw you and looked in your eyes, I saw that there was a hunger there, and I saw that there was an ambition there, and I just felt like as black men, it wasn't our job to tear each other down. I'm
No, you
happy
actually
that
said,
you're
come
successful.
and get it, motherfucker.
I
This policy he doing now.
did. But New York was competitive,
No, it
and
was.
when
It
we
was.
walked down the street, it was like.
This is a different side of TJ because back then
Yeah.
TJ would get into it. Like
I can't even
look at
imagine
him
that.
all
So
the
polished
time.
down.
He's a
Zen.
I just
Zen.
feel like
Zen.
the
Zen.
shout out to the
Guys,
cute
that
thing.
means
He's a Zen, TJ.
AJ, are you
Yeah.
Greek too? You cute?
We're both Qs.
Okay, so
Nice.
even that when you once you came across the line, the HBCU connection and things like that, how did that help back then? Because it's so like everybody talks about HBCUs and stuff now, but then when it wasn't as talked about, how was that connection then, knowing that you had a bro?
Oh, it was having Omega Psi Phi with my back was unbelievable. Coming from a black college, coming from A&T, you know, being a member of Omega Psi Phi, and then the bros was like behind, you know, supported Rocsi too. So anytime we would do events, anytime we would do parties, it would be all of my line brothers would be there, show up. Like, we didn't have security back then, and so we would be hosting on TV on a Friday, and then we would be, you know, in Detroit, New Orleans, Baltimore,
the
Carolinas, all over on the weekends, and it was the frat that was like moving around with us, supporting us.
Terrence and Fred ain't backing down from nobody. I don't know about this line he talking about, but them two, they was the line.
You keep mentioning Fred, but it's like that was another thing that was really special during TJ and I's time, because like again we came together totally new. Terrence had Fred and I had Chantel, and it was us four. Like, and for those that know, to this day, it's still us. It's still us four. It's still us four. So yeah, we had an amazing. We had to have an amazing friendship system, support system around us, because all of our friends, like to Envy's point, we were all doing this for the first time at the level that we was doing it at. Like when we was DJing in Boston, it wasn't even like at the level of what we were growing at. And at that time in New York City, and Charlamagne too, it was just different. We were all trying to really, really get it and hustle. And there was no YouTube, Instagram, get found virally. All that. You had to have talent.
That was it.
You had to know how to do the job. So,
and the crazy thing about both of y'all,
not that they don't have talent.
You and Terrence was always so embracing while everybody else was hating. Like, so it's like I met Terrence after we had that incident. And I'm like, damn, he actually cool. And me and Rocsi ended up living in the same building. Rocsi gives me a copy of The Alchemist. She embraces me like I'm like, damn, why the fuck was I ever hating on these people?
Well, you're a very angry little man.
And just
I was angry.
Your waist probably wasn't tight like it is now. You like,
messing with me back in the day.
But I bet you there's a lot of people, to your point, AJ, that was just hating and jealous, but they won't admit it. They might admit it now, but back then it's like, who are these people on TV? And I'm not.
Just get him.
You
That's
was up under
therapy work,
Wendy.
Charlotte. I like that.
Up under.
Yeah.
You was Lil Wendy. That's what they call. That's why they was calling you Wendell.
And Free told me to tell y'all I love them deep, and ain't nothing like being a part of the 106 fam alongside AJ, Rocsi, TJ, Tigger, Jaleesa, Bow, and Keisha. See y'all at the award show, you dig?
Yes.
So now what are y'all doing at the awards? Let's break that down.
And she also told me to keep asking AJ where Free is. Because he hates that.
I get asked that. No, she gets asked that. Stop. She didn't say that. No, I know she gets asked. How many times do you get asked that? I get asked that at
You gotta
least
make things up.
5 times a day.
They ask me that all the time and just say wild stuff
the
like
time.
he's getting that change.
I can be in Africa. They'll be like, yo, where's Free?
Like he's getting a change.
Wasn't Free's name one of the most popular? Y'all know that, right? Free during Free's time, Free herself, her name and her, she was like one of the most popular names of, I don't know what list it was that came back in the world. Like Free.
Iconic.
Every black man in America had
man.
Free with
Iconic.
the King magazine cover with Free on the front.
Damn.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
King magazine.
Wow, King magazine. So your question the 25th?
Oh, so what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing for 106?
I'm helping you. I'm helping you. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead,
The
MV.
BET Awards. What are you guys doing at the BET Awards?
It's a celebration.
Everybody looks at
The
Terrence.
BET Awards.
Oh, y'all hosting the show?
So no.
No.
So
Kevin
it's a
Hart.
Kevin Hart is hosting. We are
Nice.
celebrating 25 years of this landmark show, BET's 106 in Park. We have a lot of surprises. There are going to be a lot of special announcements, and it'll be the first time all the hosts are coming back to be on stage together. It's going to be a beautiful reunion, and we're so humbled. We're so appreciative of this time in our life. To be able to celebrate this together, it's amazing. You know, I lost my dad about a year and a half ago.
Condolences, brother.
And thank you. And when I lost him, it really gave me perspective on time, you know? And when you have time to spend with the people that you love, and furthermore, when you have these celebrations where this is not just about us, this is about BET as a network. It's about the culture. It's about the fans. It's about all of you. Like 106 is everybody's show. Yeah. Everybody voted on this show every day, right? This show means something to so many people. And so we're just excited that we get to all come together. And I can't wait for y'all to see the surprises and surprise performances. Man, we got some performances that...
It's going to feel like the show all over again.
Oh, so it's really getting honored. It's not just a moment. Okay, good.
So honestly,
Mr. 106 and Parks.
Honestly, I gotta take my hat off because I was there from the beginning of BET to where it is now, and for BET to do this, I think is pretty amazing. To give tribute just to the whole franchise in a whole, it says a lot. And it's just like Terrence said, it's just an amazing thing for that to be happening.
And y'all need a documentary too.
It was 25 years ago.
Y'all need a documentary. 106 Blog needs a documentary.
That's in the works.
Sure.
Okay.
In the works.
So I want to talk categories.
Okay.
Yes. So best new artist and album of the year categories. I want to talk about that right here on the Breakfast Club.
That's an easy call.
Ooh.
Best new artist is Doechii. It's not even close.
Best new artist is Doechii. I agree. Is she in the category? She should be in the category, right?
I don't see her on my list.
Well, who's on the list?
So let's read who we had for the best new artist. So y'all are welcome to take this over.
Oh, she's not nominated for best.
No, so best new artist we have.
Last year? Was she nominated last year?
Was she out last year?
Yeah. So best new artist we have Arce Star, Big X the Plug, Boss Man D-Lo, D Bills.
You want water?
No. Thank you.
D Bills, Leon Thomas, October London, Shabuzi, Teddy Swims, and it says 4-1. Is that 4-1 the group from New York? No, okay.
I'm not sure. You know, this is a tough category, and so many of these artists have been around, kinda, and it's just so many talented people.
I can say I'm a fan of a lot of them there.
Yeah,
So
Leon Thomas is
October London,
Teddy Swims, my goodness.
We had Teddy Swims.
Big X the Plug.
Shabuzi.
Big X the Plug has had a great year.
Arce Star
He was performing when the Eagles won the Super Bowl at the after party.
Yeah, Arce Star is another one. Yeah,
I love Arce Star. So that's a. They're all so it doesn't even feel like
this is a political answer.
This is happening here first on the Breakfast Club.
I don't even feel like it's a new artist because they've been killing it so much.
Me too. That's why I thought Doechii would have been in that category.
I like Shabuzi. I think Shabuzi has had a hell of a year. His record was big. He's performed at country awards and crossover awards. Out of all of them, I like Shabuzi or Teddy Swims.
Yeah, I like Leon Thomas.
But it's black, so I got.
I'm gonna say I love Teddy Swims, but y'all don't feel like if it's Teddy Swims, people gonna be upset.
That's why I said Shabuzi.
Shabuzi.
That's why I said Shabuzi. Forget the white guy. Salute to Teddy. If he had a good year, he had a good year.
Yeah,
but it's the BET Awards.
I love
Teddy did have a good year.
Because BET and Big X the Plug.
Yeah. But I would do probably Shabuzi or Teddy Swims.
So AJ, you gonna Big X the Plug?
Pick one.
I like them all.
You seem to bump Big X.
He's getting into office.
I do like Big X the Plug.
Yes, I
My
do
son
too.
likes Big X the Plug.
So does mine.
like Bat
Big X the
song when he
Plug is
goes
dope,
up,
yeah.
he's hitting.
Yes.
What about album of the year? So we got Some Sexy Songs for You, Drake and Party Next Door, 1111 Deluxe, Jess, Chris Brown, Alligator Bites Never Heal, our girl Doechii, Cowboy Carter, Beyonce, Glorious, Glorilla, GNX, Kendrick Lamar, Hurry Up Tomorrow, The Weeknd, and We Don't Trust You, Future and Metro Boomin.
They supposed to pick which one?
Now this category is real good.
How many years
Don't
is
get
this?
political this. Whoever doesn't give an answer gotta take a shot.
It's only between two for me.
It's only one for me.
Yes,
There's only one.
whoever
There's
knows.
only one answer for that one.
What?
Y'all already know.
No.
Glorilla.
GNX.
Album of the year.
Glorilla. Glorilla.
Who's
Kendrick.
had the best year of any artist?
Glorilla. Kendrick.
Chris Brown. For so many years. I knew he was thinking like me.
I say Kendrick.
Who has had the best year of any artist ever?
It's Kendrick.
Thank you.
Beyonce.
Thank you.
It's Kendrick.
Beyonce.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Terrence?
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce.
Stay
Stay.
That's right.
Whatever Terrence says.
So that's my answer. I mean, Kendrick has had. I mean, he's on tour now with
I'll go
SZA.
Kendrick or Doechii.
I'll say, yeah, I did not stop listening to Kendrick's album.
Right?
I'm not even gonna lie.
Still.
Especially being in
Kendrick's,
LA.
this moment in time for Kendrick, I mean, it's kind of
like no other.
undeniable.
But I loved Chris's album too.
See?
Cannot even lie to Chris.
And Doshi's album.
And Glorilla.
And
Glorilla,
Glorilla.
Females.
And I love Calloway Carter,
Glorilla
so
too.
this is
All those
challenging.
albums are dope, but the year
They're
Kendrick
all
has had,
dope.
And
They're
I
all
love
amazing.
Future.
And GNX,
So,
I
yeah,
think
they're all
is what
dope,
they're
but the
saying.
year
all
Kendrick
dope.
has had is like you
Yes.
can't.
I'm switching
you can't
my
recreate.
my answer. Glorilla.
Well, listen, June 9th.
I would say this. I wish that there are a lot of times, and I'm glad that I'm still able to cover carpets and still work in this industry. I tell like a lot. I told Glorilla,
Icon in this industry.
I'm like, thank you. I told Glorilla, I said, you're the kind of artist that makes me wish I was still on 106 and Park, because I would have had so much
Hey.
fun having you up there, because it would have been so. Some of the artists today, I wish we still had a platform like 106. It would have
That's
been
dope.
fun to. At that time, to interview them. It's too expensive.
but
it's
it's
too
great- but
money.
it's great-
It's too
it's great
expensive
to-
right
when-
now
when
to do
artists
music
pull that
on
out of
TV.
Yeah.
Who outside of Glorilla do you also think that about?
Let's see. A lot of like the Afro beats
Oh,
people
yep.
right now. Like
Yep.
I love Burner. I love Wiz, DeVito. Like I'm heavy into Afro beats right now. Like I really love that whole movement. And so I would have loved to have had, them up there. Like Lizzo. We didn't get a chance to have a Lizzo up there. There's so many artists, and they'll say
Big
it to
Lizzo
me
or Little
too.
Lizzo?
Jesus.
Lizzo,
Oh my God.
Charlamagne.
Lizzo's into that realm where we can talk about her like Luther.
What?
Remember we had a big
take him
Luther and a
outside
little
again.
Luther?
Take him
Big
outside.
Luther, Little Luther.
Remember we had a big Luther and a
hell?
little
Can't do that no
What
more.
is she doing?
Yes, you can.
Got respect her weight.
So with that said,
I
we're
was about to say
excited.
Terrence
June
James.
9th.
Yes,
June
turn up.
9th.
Pop some champagne,
We
T.
popping champagne
Yeah.
early.
There you
Listen,
go.
106 and Park, 25 years.
Yes.
We're celebrating the Breakfast Club. We're
Hey.
celebrating. There's a synergy here.
That's
we're
right.
celebrating. It's
Period.
early. We're proud. We're excited to be here. And it's a beautiful moment. So we're gonna get some.
Oh my
We'll
God.
get some champagne.
Let's do
and
it.
get some flutes going.
Let's do it.
Pop
And,
for 106 and Park. You told me and Jess it was for us.
I did is. I just
Yeah.
said. I just said. It's a breakfast
Look,
club.
look at Jess is like,
It's a breakfast club.
Yes,
This a
I-
Lauren. This a Lauren and Jess moment. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
We celebrating. We celebrating
Celebrate, y'all.
wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June 9th, 8 p.m.
June 9th.
BET
That's
Awards.
right.
One thing I got to put out there, and I
Terrence
haven't
J.
put out there, starting the podcast finally, Out of the Park.life, Out of the Park, OUTTA, THEPARK.
You by yourself?
Dot
Jay?
life.
What you doing with?
You in free?
To be announced.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Not you and free. Where free at?
We're free. We're free at here.
Bring it every episode. Free is actually not here today.
All right, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up. In the morning. The Breakfast Club.